Thanks for your patience, and let's do it. Okay, so in this lesson we're going to show how to solve radical functions, and the problem we're actually trying to solve is just right here. Where does this brown function equal this red function? Let's solve it, okay? Now, to see where these actually intersect, where there's going to be solution, I'm showing you a graph of these, so I'm showing you the answer ahead of time, okay? The orange function looks like this, y equals 2x is linear. And the brown function, which is much trickier, in this case looks like this. It's called a radical or square root function. And these functions only intersect once at x equal 5, which means the only solution to this equation that's true is x equal 5. In the process of solving it, we're going to find that we get another solution that we then have to check and then reject because it doesn't actually, you'll see when we plug it into check that it doesn't work. Okay, so the steps for solving will be use inverse operations to isolate the radical. So let's do that. Right now we have 2 times the radical minus 2 equals 2x. So the radical is not isolated yet. It's got all this stuff going on. So this is kind of like 2z minus 2. So if we think of it as like 2z minus 2, hopefully we see that we could add 2 to both sides, like this, and get that this is now 2 times the square root of 5x plus 11. And this is canceled, equals, now this is 2x plus 2. Like that. This is almost isolated, but it's still multiplied by 2. So the next thing we need to do is divide both sides by 2. So 2x divided by 2 is x, and positive 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that was 2x divided by 2 is x, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So at this point, this is just the square root of 5x plus 11 equals x plus 1, and we have isolated the radical. That part is done. Okay, cool. I'm going to go over these steps, and then I'm going to erase this so that there's more room to work. In the next step, we see that we have a radical by itself. This is implied that the index here is 2. It's the square root. So to get that radical off, we have to square both sides. So we'll raise both sides to the second power. Okay. After we do that, we're going to have stuff on both sides, and we're going to manipulate the equation to set the equation equal to 0, and we'll almost be done solving. And then our last step will be to substitute our solutions to check them, because x equal 5 is going to work, but x equal negative 2 is not going to work, and that's something that we have to start to conceptualize. Could you pause it for a second?